Hi, it's Drew here with Thrive. Today we're going to talk about Gantt charts. If you want to go up to your Gantt chart icon, we're going to click directly on that. And what the Gantt chart do is it's going to open up a new window, browser window. And as you can see there, we've got a lot going on with this Gantt chart. There's multiple ways to kind of task manage your project or add new features. For instance, we can move this over to highlight more of those sorting columns. We can also add additional ones. I'm going to go up here and we can add new columns as far as status and projected hours. So we can kind of see who's got what going on for the projected hours. Okay, and these are all drag and drop. I can move these around as needed. Okay, we can format or filter by day, week, month, and we can even go in and sort by different team members. So if we want to enable column sorting, we can come up and we can click on Assign To, and you'll see it'll sort by those team members that are assigned. Okay. If we want to disable that, what's going to happen is it's going to pull up a new task order window, and it says, do you want to go back to the previous, what you had, or you can use the current. So it can stay within that current sort, or we can go back to the previous. We're just going to go back to the previous for this part. If we want to remove any of these, let's say status and projected hours, we don't want to have these on our Gantt charts. We can just go ahead and remove those, and obviously those will be broken loose. Okay, we can enable critical path and download charts from here as well. Now we're going to resize this down so we can kind of see both. Now notice down here in this small arrow right here, if we click on this arrow, it's going to actually open up the Gantt chart completely. So all you're going to see is what's going on with the Gantt chart. Just go back to that menu where it's got split. We just hit that arrow again, and voila. All right. So there's multiple ways to add tasks. If we go in here, we can view our tasks. We can add and subtract subtasks, okay, just by clicking these, or we can add new parent task. So for right now, let's go ahead and add a new parent task. We're going to say this is Gantt chart. All right, it's assigned to, let's say we're going to assign it to Mike. We're going to select our status is open, projected hours, let's say 1. And we're going to go June 2015, and let's say we're going to do it on the 26th. All right, and save. You'll notice there's a new Gantt chart. So you'll see the Gantt chart walkthrough. Now let's add a dependent task for this one. So let's say within that Gantt chart walkthrough, we're going to walk through dependents. I'm going to assign that to myself. I'm going to track that as open. Projected hour, let's just say it's 1. We have our time period. Let's say it's going to start a day after. We'll go ahead and save, and then you'll see we have the Gantt chart walkthrough. All right, now notice the indentation on the folder. And it's an easy way we can open those or close those as well. So if we want to see those dependent, all we'd have to do is that. Now, for this, let's go to the full. So if we wanted to go into brainstorming, if we click on that eye, you're going to see it pull up the actual task. So there's multiple ways to manage and track your task or your project by going throughout the system. We'll go ahead and close this. We can also go ahead and add a subtask this way. So if we hit this, you're going to see that this moves this into brainstorming into the demo timesheets menu. If I want to remove that as a subtask, all I have to do is put that back. And if I wanted to say, okay, this is actually going to be up here, this is going to be task number 1, I can move those around, move this down here, okay, and then move this here. So these are, we can move these as we need to and as we see fit. Now there's a couple other features in here that I'm going to bring this out so you can see. Now if you notice, we have what it looks like to be that this task is going to be over the course of a couple of days. Now by coming over and highlighting the arrow, we can drag this out saying, hey, you know, realistically this is going to take maybe a few more days than we originally planned. So we can drag that out, okay? And then let's say, you know, because this is a parent task of this, we can actually make dependence just by clicking this and dragging it right over to the task that, hey, this is not going to get done until, and if you notice, it'll hit here. So cool thing is if we move this in any way back or forth, it's going to affect the other task. So if one's dependent on another one, if I move this back, then this knows once this is completed, this will get moved as well. So if it gets completed sooner, then it triggers that next task to be completed. And let's go ahead and drag these out so you can see the same thing. This is going to be over a couple of days, and obviously the calendar monitors that these are weekends. So if we were to move that on a Saturday, you'd see that it'd push it over to the Monday, the beginning of the next week. It's a very nice feature. And then just to, if we don't like that and this is not a dependency, let's say we created this in error, all we would need to do is go over to the arrow, and you'll see link to brainstorming demo timesheets will be deleted, and there you go, it's no longer a dependent. And then we can move this around and it won't affect the other ones at all. Okay, and then these are obviously movable. If we click on this, you'll see the actual task, the activity, that assigned to, the projected hours, the time period, all that good stuff. Now you also notice that there is a little bit of different in color. Each of these is the darker color means that it's been, a chunk of it's been completed. Okay, and as the project or task gets completed, those will be a little bit darker. And let's say if we click on this, so it already knows within it, and it's not going to be affected in any way. So if we move one parent task and it's got a subtask, you're going to notice that that subtask is going to come. Now we can create a dependency. Let's say if we're going to do a walkthrough to this, boom. And then obviously if this moves, those move with it. So easy way to create dependencies, moving around and kind of trigger if one project or one task is completed, that it kicks off the other one so everyone knows where everyone stands. This is a simple way to manage your entire project right here. Okay, we can go in, we can create new tasks, we can create new subtasks, we can see who's got what, we can sort and assign them, we can, you know, look at different columns if we need to, again, by just, if we've got more columns that we need to look at, we can go over here and we can expand all of this, and you'll notice that every little piece, the projected hours, all that good stuff. And then if you notice in enable critical path, you're going to see which of these is actually in red. Now another cool little feature about this is the help button. If you click on this, this is basically going to walk you through all buttons and tabs to kind of give you a brief description of what it does if you're running into I'm not understanding a certain feature or function. It's an easy way to kind of navigate through the system. We can use arrows or tab feature, or you can click next. And it's going to walk you through each button and what it does. It gives you a brief description. And as you'll notice, you can just move through each of the task and start dates. And then if you need to go back or forward, you can click those arrows, or if you've got what you needed on that help menu, you can just hit done. And then we can also use our Gantt charts as far as team members. We can select a certain team member and see only what they are assigned with. So it's an easier way to find out if we're looking at our team members and what they've got on their plate for the day or for that entire project. You know, we can go in and see what they have, how many hours, all that good stuff. And if you're having problems reading it, we just need to expand it so you can see it. There you go. Or you can hover over and it'll give you completion of project. It'll show you the completion, the projected hours, and who it was assigned to. I think all of these are, there you go, there's one that's not complete. Let's show the little color variation. There you go. So notice the different colors. This one's 99% complete. You see the darker color, whereas this one is 0 complete, and you'll see that it's a lighter shade of orange. And if we needed to, again, to make it a parent task, that's all we would need to do. Not seeing what you need? Feel free to reach out to us for new ideas on tutorials. We're here to help. We want to help your business thrive.